What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first episode, hopefully a good chunk of episodes on this journey of the Otaku's Kickback Sessions. My name is Easy the Shinobi, and as always, here's my co-host, Green Specter.
Yo, it's good. It's good to
Uh,
be back.
yep, it's good to be back. I know we're transitioning on from the Maidman stuff. Wanted to start something new. Wanted to, just move on from something onto a new project, and we wanted to bring. So basically, the reason for the show is to create kind of like a vibe of like, say, you know, kicking it with your friends at around like the table or something, around just chatting it up. But in this case, it's chatting it up anime and manga.
Yep.
Yeah. And speaking of which, season which was the season that just ended, man? Winter season or like for
I would have.
anime?
Oh, for anime,
Yeah.
I would have to assume winter season because I mean, there's a lot of anime that's been starting and then ending.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of them has been starting in indie, as you said, and honestly, one of the ones that went underrated this season that I actually enjoyed. I know we've been kind of both on it. Was the wrong way to use healing magic.
That one's a really good one. Underrated. I have to say, underrated.
Oh yeah, it's and as you guessed it, yeah, it is another isekai anime that we know isekai's been blowing up for the past 2-3 years. But I actually enjoyed this. I actually really enjoyed this one. It's been a good watch from weekend to weekend. Mainly because it doesn't it doesn't really take the natural kind of like progression, I guess, that a healer would take. Um, so I guess basically the basis of it is, um, it starts off with three high school kids that you could guess it from the isekai get transported to another world,
T-
but the
technically, one of them
wasn't supposed to go.
shouldn't have been isekai.
Yeah, exactly.
He was just at the wrong place at the wrong time and was transported.
Yeah, exactly. He was just transported. He just happened to be caught up in the blast, to be honest. But yeah, I mean but yeah, that's how it starts off. And then basically you get the whole the world building setup of basically two of actually the original students that were supposed to be transported. Obviously they get brought up as heroes, and they're basically being told like, hey, we summoned you guys to because we're about to fight the demon lord and his army. um and we needed basically the guidance and the strength of the heroes to be able to fight off. That's up until the king realizes, oh, we brought in another dude by accident.
Huh, who the fuck are you? You're not supposed to be here. Well, fuck it. I mean, I guess since you're here, might as well have you as a hero too.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Honestly, what started got me more invested into this was, so when they take I'm forgetting the name of the main character, is Sato, right? Oh, Usato.
Usato.
Um, yeah, when they take Usato, Kazuki, and what was the name of the what was the name of Usato senpai, the one that gets like hella into the like being transported into another world?
I have no idea.
Well,
That's how much she's like not even. She's important, but not didn't get a lot of screen time.
actually, the good part is like later on she does get screen time though. Because there's that one episode where her and Osato they basically have to travel through the dark forest, and I think they get launched off by during the middle of a journey. But we'll go more into that later. So basically, what happens is that they end up getting taken to go reveal, like, okay, what's their element affinity, whether basically their mana energy comes out to be, whether it's I think it's I think it's either purple for lightning, and
No, yellow.
Yeah, yellow for light.
So it was yellow for lightning.
Mm-hmm.
One of the other dude was white
Mm-hmm.
for like white magic,
Mm-hmm.
and then Usato was healing magic, with which everyone started to just freak out because they're like, "Oh no, he can heal. That's not good."
And
And and like in usual isekai, you're just like, "Wait, why wouldn't that be good? He's a healer, you know. He's
yeah,
probably gonna be OP and all that stuff." Turns out that one of the reasons why that they don't like healers is because of their main healer, who is part of the rescue squad,
mm-hmm.
who automatically, conveniently, comes to the palace and is like, "Hey, I heard that you guys summon the heroes," and they're like, "Oh, yeah, we summon the heroes, but I mean, there's nothing wrong, and all that stuff." And so, catching nothing adrift, she starts to leave, only for one of them to accidentally slip up and say, "Wait, but the other one was a healer, right?" The king is afraid, instantly scared. The king.
Yeah.
And then she just rose. I think you
The,
could say the secondary character.
she's basically the captain of the rescue group. And what makes it more funnier is that it was
She bolts.
she
She Hussein bolts to go get the other healer.
what makes that more funnier is that what makes it more funnier is that fucking Usada was the one that lets it slip. Like, oh wait a minute, well my mana turned out to be green, and supposedly that's supposed to be healing magic. I mean, I don't, so I don't know what to do. Then that's when Rose catches wind of it, and she's like, oh, so there was another healer, and the king just has the cleric or the mage that basically that was the one to tell kind of like their affinity, their element affinity. Uh, Follow Pusado in this kind of like water orb thing, and it's like, all right, get him the fuck out of here. We can't let Rose fucking get his hands on this dude.
Yeah.
Only for basically for Osato to be taken away outside of the castle, lifted like high above the air, and this is okay. So this is the part where it really got me. Fucking Rose just bolts it out of the castle, jumps from the balcony, and just straight up punches through the water prison that Osato's being held in, and just takes this dude. And it's like, nope, he's mine now.
It's hilarious.
God, the whole season is actually like legit. It's a pretty good watch, but the whole season itself is low key kind of funny as well. Um, Considering that basically like later on they pass Usato's training and all that, and you see that basically Rose is putting him through the fucking ringer. She's putting him through like basically running like multiple miles through every day, running with a weighted vest, um, and basically having him do push-ups with huge ass blocks on top of it. And then the more he goes through it, the more he's like Osato's realizing like, damn, this fucking chick is trying to kill me or something.
Yeah, but it's actually really impressive how it takes the whole fantasy and then real world aspects. Because in most of the times in real world aspects, you work out, you train,
Mm-hmm.
which
Mm-hmm.
means you're tearing muscles to actually make them stronger when they heal.
Mm-hmm.
In the case of Rose, she's pushing Usato to the limit by giving him intense workout to the point where he's forced to use his healing magic to get stronger in an instant. That way, there's like no resting period, and it's
Exactly.
very fascinating.
That's basically the one interesting part about it, because you see as soon as he starts figuring it out that basically because his healing magic starts activating on its own, in order to heal him, and so once he starts figuring it out, wait a minute, I could basically the recovery time that I go through after each workout, after each training session, I could shorten it to nothing because I could self heal, and that basically makes his recovery faster to basically to the point where he's already kind of like ready to go back up again. And then the short also makes him stronger, physically stronger too, because he only has healing magic, but his physical abilities just skyrocket to like near superhuman levels.
Yeah, to the point where Susune, the other main character, I finally remembered her name.
Yeah.
Um, I remember there was a scene on there where after the workout and all that stuff, is shirtless, and and because of like the whole instant healing workout regimen that he's been doing, uh, my guy is like swole.
He's
He's
cutthroat.
he's cut, and then you could tell instantly falls for him, and it's the classic like, oh damn, hey yo, take your shirt off.
Not even that, bro. The basically the episode where they're having the picnic nearby, kind of like the training grounds, and she as soon as she catches a glimpse of him, kind of like wiping his foot off with his shirt, she sees his six pack, and she as
And
soon
is
as
trying to undress him.
yeah, she's like, I could touch him, right? It's cool, right? He's like, no, it's not cool. Why are you doing this? He's like, she's like, come on, it's cool. Come on, just one touch.
Yeah, and he's constantly yelling about, you're ruining the image I had of you.
That's what makes it. That's what made that fucking scene just so fucking funny, dog. But then, like, honestly, getting further in, we do see Suzune and Osato. Like I mentioned earlier, they end up back in the Black Forest where Usato originally trained. That's
Yeah.
where he finds the that's where he finds the bear cub that he originally was supposed to hunt down. The I think it's the white bear, the white grizzly bear. Um, that's where he does Blue Rin, the blue bear cub that eventually grows up and becomes his companion, becomes his training partner.
Which he
Um,
doesn't let anyone pet him except Usato. It's
oh
hilarious.
yeah, it's funny because basically when a blue run is just chilling at the stables where the rescue group stays at, it's a house that's like in the outskirts of the kingdom. Um, Susan it's one of the times that Susan goes to visit Usato, and I think that's the first time she meets Blue Rin. And again, she finds Blue and adorable. And she's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you hid this from me. Can I pet him?" And he warns him, to be honest, he doesn't really like anybody else besides me. And she and she keeps trying to pet him, but Blue just kind of like smacks her hand away and shit.
It's just hilarious.
Yeah. But we do see at least basically Usodo and Suzune getting along, and we do see why she's really delved and energetic about the basically being transported into another world, and
Because
it's mainly
because she's been the best. In
yeah,
our world society, she's had top grades, she's
mm-hmm,
gifted, she pretty much is bored because
mm,
there's no challenge for her. And the moment she gets isekai'd, it's like, ooh, this is a new opportunity to have challenges. It's a new
mm.
opportunity to see if I get to fail.
Yeah. And more importantly, it's a new opportunity for her to be herself, where she's not held up to that like image of like, oh, she's the class president, she's a top student, she's proper, she's prim and proper. No, she's like, no, I'm free now. I could basically, in this world, I could be who I want, and I want to be an adventurer. I want to basically help these people in this kingdom. I want to be able to go on adventures and go on journeys, and be a proper hero. And that's low key one of the more memorable episodes of the season. Um, and then when it comes to the action, hey, you know what? The show wasn't bad on action either.
The action's really good. I very much
Yeah,
enjoy,
yeah.
especially the action coming from Rose. Oh,
Dog, dog, she's a fucking beast. like, uh,
instant waifu material.
Oh, automatic S tier waifu material. Not to mention that, dude, her backstory is so fucking tragic. Um, basically, because remember, the rescue group came after what happened to her previous. Because I don't think her previous team was the rescue team, right? I think she
No,
led a vanguard squad.
yeah, she was leading a vanguard squad to pretty much scout the area, eliminate. It's pretty much like a special ops like team, but
Hmm.
it backfired. Her entire
Yeah.
squad was dead. Her apprentice, who she was training to take up her mantle, died. She went into this like instant berserk mode,
Hmm.
lost an eye, that to like some weird sword that like cancels out healing. So
Hmm.
whatever injury you get from it, you can't be healed by anything, nothing.
Hmm. Yeah.
And so, which is why she has that comb over.
Yeah. Which is basically because due to the injuries that she suffered in the fight against one of the lieutenant, I think it's one of the captains or lieutenants of the demon army. Um, and dog, so I gotta say this. So when she started after she lost her second in command from her previous squad, and she went berserk mode. That was some fucking good fighting because she just straight up blitzed the demon and took on the swing of the curse sword head on. She grabbed it. She grabbed the sword and she's like, "Nah, you know what? I don't give a shit anymore. All right, you killed my people. I'm gonna make sure you suffer." Straight up takes out this dude with just pure hands and javelins the sword right through him, where he's just pinned to one of the trees around the surrounding area.
Yeah, that shit was dope.
Yeah, and then later on afterwards, you see the aftermath too, where she goes into kind of a deep depression and stuff, where she's like, I don't know if I'm cut out for this, or I don't know if I did the right thing, or
She goes into post nut clarity
and
and realizes, what have I done?
and many elegant ways that you could put it. Yes, post nut clarity. I say
Yes.
depression. You say post nut clarity for some reason.
Hey, that's the first thing that came to my mind. You can't blame me.
Anywho, but yeah, she goes through it. Um, and she overall she was ready to retire. She was ready to just call it. And it's like, you know what? No, this being a knight, being part of the Vanguard Squad, this isn't it for me. Up until she sees the ghost of her former apprentice, Alu, I believe her name was. Um, yeah, basically she's telling Rose, "Look, we wouldn't have gone in there if we didn't trust you. And despite whatever happened, we still trust you. I still trust you. So I need you to get up and be the captain that that we loved and supported all this time." And from there, it's like, all right. She picked herself up, started the rescue squad, and then basically was on the lookout for whenever the heroes were to come because she wanted to find her equal. And that's what she trained Usado to be on the same equal ground as her. And then from there on, bro, we go from that flashback fight to the fight with Usado and the fucking it's when they start fighting the Demon Lord's army. Um, and they bring in the Dark Knight from the Demon Lord's army because he ends up having that vision from the Foxkin from the little Foxkin girl that he sees on one of his runs with one of his runs for the rescue group.
Yeah, because apparently, her special skill, from the fox race is premonitions,
Hmm.
to the point where I think someone else explains that she's the last of her species because they've been hunted for this skill specifically.
Hmm. Yeah, they were mainly they've been captured and hunted for the premonition skill, and so basically her skill being active, she gives us out of the premonition, where Kazuki and Suzune end up dead at the feet of the Dark Knight. And so when it's time for battle, he goes and he tries to look for and he tries to look for him. And they're in the middle. They're basically in the middle of the fight. He reaches it right up until where he sees that vision come to life. And so basically, he figures out that the Dark Knight's armor has or he does, or he figures out later on, but Suzune was the first one to figure out that, hey, you know what? It has some sort of reflective magic on the armor.
It's like Meliodas' counter ability,
Mm.
where whatever injury the person gets, like let's say, oh, I stab you in the gut.
Mm-hmm.
With this armor on, you feel the pain, but it's instantly reflected back.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you stabbing yourself in the gut,
Exactly.
and just nothing happens.
Yeah, exactly. And so basically, though before before Wasato came along to basically confront the Dark Knight, bro. One of the more filthy moments of that whole fight was when he baited Suzune into kind of like getting when the Dark Knight baited Suzune into getting stabbed in the back, and then tricking her into thinking, "Hey, you know what? You got me. I'm basically weakened out. I'm about to die. Um, you weakened me." Only for the Dark Knight to turn it around like minutes later and say, "Psych."
Nah, just kidding. I have no weaknesses. This armor is perfect. And apparently she's able to delay the attacks. That was dirty.
that was fucking filthy. And even she bought it, and even the Dark Knight bought it up. Where it's like, you honestly think that you figured it out? Where it's
I
like,
apologize for the noise in the background.
yeah, I'm assuming your folks home.
Yeah, they're home and they're watching soccer, which I have no interest in.
Yeah, I can't blame you. Seeing as how we're both Mexican and we know how Mexican families get when it comes to soccer.
Ugh.
Yeah. uh,
Anyhow,
anyhow, anyhow, moving back into the weeaboo discussion. But yeah, no, she basically told Suzune, "Look, I know what you were thinking. I know what you theorized. You thought that if I couldn't say the word reflect, that okay, you know what? You can't get me. I'm like weakened. You thought if I couldn't see it, you can't get me. I'm weakened. Turns out you're wrong." And then basically afterwards, she ended up taking out both Kazuki and Suzune, which was right around the time Osato shows up. And bro, the way that this man figured out how to basically beat the how to fight and beat the Dark Knight was some pretty G shit.
no, and he figured it out by accident.
Yeah, that's the other thing. He figured it. He figured out that not only physical attacks work against the Dark Knight, but that his healing magic and his healing aura work basically weaken the Dark Knight's reflective magic. And not only, and basically, as soon as he figured it out, he started taking all these shots from the Dark Knight to the point where, as soon as he got closer, and basically started just fucking just putting hands. It's like he should, in simple terms, he should have boxed the Dark Knight into defeat.
Oh yeah. It was hilarious too because the Dark Knight was getting frustrated. Like, how are you hurting me? I'm supposed to be invincible.
Right?
Wah wah wah.
Right, exactly. She couldn't even figure it out. She's like, wait a minute, no, this isn't supposed to be happening. I took out the heroes. How the hell are you doing this? And like, even though the dude found it out by accident, he's like, fuck it. You know what? If this is working, this is gonna work. And even though he basically picked up the heroes and ran and basically got them to safety, or at least halfway to safety, he dropped them because he realized, look, the Dark Knight's just gonna chase us up until basically uh, all three of us are dead. So I'd rather heal you guys most of the way, and then as soon as you're basically like out of the woods, I'm fighting her. And bro, I like to I like to really say that he beat her on puro fucking putazos, dog.
Oh yeah,
He
yeah.
used the magic of putazos to beat the Dark Knight. Oh man, but no, that. Oh, but overall, I mean, but overall, that was a good arc as well. And then basically, and then after after the dust settled, after basically the defeat of the Dark Knight, obviously they imprison her, and so I know you haven't gone to episode 13, right?
Yeah.
And you've gone to I'm like kind of blanking out. Is episode 12 where they reveal her name, or
Yeah, episode 12 is where they reveal her name.
yeah,
There's a bit of backstory with the demons as well.
yeah.
But yeah, episode 12 is where I left off.
Mm-hmm. So I'm not gonna spoil episode 13. I will say there is a bit of a teaser at the end that hopefully gives it a season two. But episode 12, that was a good basically follow up to the basically to the small war that they were having against the demon army. Because they had imprisoned the Dark Knight, but it was more so that but in the end she wanted Usato to come and see her. So he goes to see her, heals away kind of like the armor, because the armor was kind of attached to her,
Yeah.
and in the end, they basically kind of she starts realizing, hey, he's not such a bad guy. Though they started cracking up more after Rose tells her, look, all right, you have two choices. You can either stay here in prison in Ra, or I could take you under my wing and you'll be trained under me. And then even then, she ends up telling Film, who is the name of the Dark Knight. She ends up telling Film, nah, you don't get to stay in prison because that's a waste of resources. You're gonna be trained under me.
It's hilarious. She made the decision for her.
like the poor girl didn't even get a choice. She's like, wait a minute, I thought you said it was my choice. Nah, I was just kidding. It's my choice. Oh man, but yeah, honestly, if you haven't watched it, go ahead and give it a give it a watch. It's pretty good. Like honestly, I did enjoy it. For 13 episodes, it's a pretty good weekend watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know. Well, we'll talk about this one more later on, probably next week. But if you're looking for something like a bit more longer form fantasy anime, Free Run Beyond Journey's End. I think I'm at episode 22, 21 right now. It's in the middle of the first class mage exam. Bro, so far it's good.
Oh, it's so good, dude. I finished it. I'm rewatching it in the dub
Mm-hmm.
because I watched the sub. So I was like, let's see how the dub does it. They did a pretty good job with it. Not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about the dub, and I've seen some clips on YouTube and basically going around through Twitter. Did a pretty good job. What I do enjoy about Beyond Journey's End is it shows basically kind of like what happens after you beat the big bad, what happens after you beat the demon lord, and going through kind of like the journey, going basically free and learning more about it, kind of like, hey, you know what? I want to go on this adventure to learn more about humans and to kind of see how they interact, see how basically what type of emotions they go through. She wants to learn more about humanity itself. Then kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna keep going on these random journeys. But yeah, we could talk more about it next week. Mainly because I haven't got done watching it yet. Um,
Yeah, fucking loser.
Dog, I have a 9 to 5. I'm a salary man. I don't have time for this. Well, I do, but I swear to God, it's not a bad anime. I just happen to knock out because I'm freaking exhausted after work. Um, but yeah, overall, I would say the wrong way to use healer magic, worth the watch. Definitely worth the watch. Free Run Beyond Journey's Win. definitely worth the watch. Also, to add on to Beyond Journey's End, bro, the animation style is incredible.
Oh yeah, I love the animation style.
Uh,
It's really good.
yeah, it's really good. It kind of reminds me of a Ghibli film a bit at times.
Eh, let's not go that far.
Let's not go
It's
that.
good. It's good. It's good though. It's good.
It's good. It's good. Okay, let's not go that far. That and the score. The score of Beyond Journey's End is really good too. If you basically like kind of the classical music score or kind of the more a fairy tale score, definitely give it a go and watch.
Oh yeah.
And now, since we went from watching anime, let's move on to what have you been reading manga wise?
I've been reading this manga. It's called The Useless Skill
Mm.
Auto Mode.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hilarious.
What's it about?
So so it's about like everybody has these skills. At the age of like 15, they get appraised to see like, oh, like your skill is like this and this and this and this. And at first, everybody, uh, when they hear this dude, the main character called Klaus,
Mm-hmm.
uh, when they hear that his skill is auto mode, everybody's like, "What? I've never heard of this skill before. It must be like really cool and all that stuff." And he's just really excited because he's like, "Oh man, I have a skill that like nobody else has. I'm gonna have like tons of fun." 3 years later, he's all alone.
So basically, was like having that skill that he thought was gonna like make his life fun. He's just feeling it after 3 years, or he's just like by himself.
Yeah. So what auto mode is?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently at level 1, uh, the skill level is called auto return.
Mm-hmm.
So think of it like fast travel, where he's just where when he activates it, he automatically travels back to his house from wherever he is,
Okay.
and he gets a timer like, oh, the like auto returns. It will take 30 minutes to get back home. And whenever he uses auto mode, he blacks out and his body moves automatically. Of course,
Oh shit! Really?
yeah, he blacks out.
Hmm.
So think of it like sleepwalking, but giving yourself commands to do.
Oh, okay.
At level 2, it's called auto travel. So he'll automatically travel to places where he's already been to,
Okay.
and because of those abilities, he's been stuck at level 10 because everybody has seen him as a burden. At first, everybody was like, "Oh, your auto skill is like so cool. You should come party with us," and all that stuff. And then after, when they've been in a party with him, they're just like, "Oh man, you suck, dude." To the point where they're like giving him manual labor
Uh-huh.
so that he quits the party because of how unique his skill is. They can't kick him out of the party without being looked upon as the bad guy because they're like, oh, yeah, this and this and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
So they purposely give him like errands to do so that he voluntarily leaves the party,
No, okay.
and they loudly talk shit behind his back to make him feel like dog shit
Hmm.
so that he leaves the party.
So basically, they basically they work him like a dog and insult him loud enough for him to hear, because in order to avoid like, hey, this in order to avoid public judgment, um, they want to cause him to quit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That sounds pretty.
So
Okay.
so and this is still in the premise of like chapter 1, so there's like no spoilers yet.
Hmm.
Um, After killing a hobgoblin, so think about this: 3 years he's been by himself. He's been doing just simple goblin killing, herb gathering, and all that stuff.
Mhm.
He's been feeling bad because everybody like treated him like dog shit and laughed at him and all that stuff. After killing a hobgoblin, he finally gains enough XP to level up his auto skill.
Oh, okay.
And the next skill he gets is auto mode level 3 automatic resource collection.
Huh. So it's kind of like a scavenger.
Yes, but here's the thing. Depending on what area he's in, he'll get a list of automatic resources. Even some resources that apparently are like super rare
Mhm.
that nobody has been able to find. But because of his auto skill, he can instantly find like a dozen, 12, or 20 of them to the point where he's just gaining XP like crazy because of his auto skill.
Yo, not lie, that actually sounds that actually sounds pretty sick. Basically, getting a skill, leveling up your ability, so that way you're able to kind of locate, or not even just locate, but be given a list of like, hey, you know what? Here's all the items in this specific area that you're in, and you could go ahead and collect them, or you could go ahead and automatically collect them without any issue.
Yeah, let me tell you. So this is a spoiler for the future ones, but not really.
Mhm.
Let me tell you what auto skill level 4 is.
What is it?
Battle mode.
So, okay, so I gotta hear this. What is this?
Battle mode, and here's the thing. Here's the down part about this.
Mhm.
It has to be a monster that he's already fought or is currently fighting.
Oh, okay.
When battle mode activates, think of like Ultra Instincts
Mm.
level of craziness, just automatically dodging at like laser speeds, taking down the opponent. Bro, it even gives him a timer. Oh, it'll take 15 minutes to take down this like monster. It takes 20 minutes to take down these like group of monsters.
No
It's just
fucking way.
hilarious.
Wait, really?
And yes, it's hilarious. And and hear me out.
Uh-huh.
He's only a C rank. He's the lowest.
So basically, he's a so he's at the lowest rank of adventure, right?
Yes,
Okay.
he's at the lowest rank of adventure, and he takes down apparently an S rank skeleton monster
Oh shit.
because of auto battle skill.
And so basically, if it takes down an S rank skeleton monster, that means basically like any other S rank skeleton monsters of similar, basically similar stats, and basically
Similar stats or lower are a piece of cake for auto mode.
nah. So this man is just a walking new game plus. Is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, but the reason he's doing all the adventuring stuff
Mm-hmm.
is because his parents died, and it's just him and his stepsister.
Oh, okay.
And currently, he's 18, and his stepsister is 14.
Mm-hmm.
And to be appraised for a skill is like 15. So he's trying to grind. He's trying to get that cash to pretty much give her stepsister a better life
Oh,
and all
okay.
that stuff.
Oh,
Yeah. So he's not doing this just because of like, oh yeah, my auto skill is like overpowered and all this stuff. No, he's doing this because he's like, all right, I need to get out of the ghetto and put my sister in like a better spot in life.
that's honorable, man. I mean, he had, because from what you explained, he has a very valuable ass skill where he could basically continue to, especially now that he killed an S rank monster, or like any other monsters below S rank. Okay, they're easy. That's he can handle them. He can handle them no problem. And being able to scavenge and collect items without much issue either. But he's doing it all so that way his little sister could basically live a good life and not have to worry about it.
Yeah, there's also an interesting thing about auto skill as well.
Uh-huh.
Um, fuck, what is it? I think it was in dungeon cooking.
Hmm. Oh,
So there,
you're talking about the one that was on Netflix, right?
yeah,
Delicious in Dungeon.
yeah. So they pick up this like this. I think it's like a turnip,
Hmm.
but it has a face and it screams, and then
Oh,
it
yeah.
reduces your life
Yeah.
when you hear it.
Yeah.
So in this, apparently, when he unconsciously pulled one,
Hmm.
and it's supposed to leave you disoriented and weak and all that stuff, because he pulled it out during auto mode, he technically didn't hear it. So the effects never hit him.
Nice.
And what's even more hilarious is that he did it in front of a rock lizard, and the rock lizard is the one that suffered the effects.
Damn.
And this is like an A rank rock lizard. So a C rank, was able to kill a higher rank because he didn't undergo the effects of
Damn.
I think it's called the Goras, Mandagoras scream.
Damn. And so basically the Mandragora screen is not like a direct it's not like a direct attack to the person that picks it up. It's more of a area of effect attack.
Yeah, it's more of like, if I heard it, I'm affected.
Ah,
But
okay.
because he was unconscious because of auto mode, he never heard it. So he's fighting a weakened monster.
Oh, okay. Damn, that's actually that's actually a twist, man. Because I mean, if you're unconscious and you just kind of like handling this turnip and handling this turnip that's gonna basically has a legit deadly scream, you ain't gonna hear it because you have to basically be awake to, you know, basically feel the effect of it. And so it ends up being the rock lizard then that takes the brunt of it.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy. How many chapters is this?
Chapters, I can check right now.
Hmm?
It has 19 chapters so far.
19 chapters. That's not bad.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good basically binge manga to catch up on. Does it come out weekly?
I think it might be monthly
Mm-hmm.
by the looks of it.
Mm. Nice, nice.
Not really sure though.
Nice. Well, I mean, in any case, I mean does sound
Oh wait, I was wrong. 45 chapters.
40. Oh shit, 45 chapters.
Yeah, yeah. So it has a good amount of chapters that you can read and then just like pretty much just keep reading on your downtime or whenever you feel like.
Nice, bro. You gotta send me to the link to that manga on Discord and stuff. I'll, I gotta I gotta read it later on when I'm like at lunch or basically have some downtime. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
that sounds excellent. Any other manga you've been reading?
I've been reading about. I've been reading this one so far. It's called the King of the Cave Will Live in Paradise.
Oh, nice. What's that one about?
So it's about this. It's about this dude who was exiled because apparently he had a useless crest.
Hmm.
And in this world, everybody has cresses with like unique abilities.
Hmm.
So you could have a warrior's crest, and you're pretty much like guaranteed to be like super badass. You'll have a carpenter's crest. You'll be able to build buildings and whatever you need. Or you'll have a crest that's called the Conqueror's Crest, where you can pretty much just like uh, be king
Oh,
of anything or something like that.
oh shit.
Those are just like a few examples. Apparently, this guy had an unknown crest, which, because he came from a royal lineage, um, they hated him.
Hmm.
So they exiled him to a point where it's like this small little island uh, that's known for like sinking ships and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
And they had him on a ship. The ship then put him on a little dinghy, and then they're just like, "All right, later,"
And so basically,
hoping that he died.
okay, so yeah, they left him out there hoping that basically the island ships the dinghy that he's in, and it's like, okay, we got rid of him.
Yeah. Turns out, his crest
Mhm.
is a mining crest.
Oh, okay.
So he's able to automatically mine, and the resource that were mined gets put into like this inventory
Hmm.
that he has, and get and this is interesting though. He picks up, let's say, magic stones, a stone of lightning or a stone of fire.
Hmm.
He's able to use them because of his mining crest.
Oh, okay.
Because technically, he mined it, so he's able to use all of these like magic resources and purify them
Mm.
to the highest purity.
Okay. That's pretty legit.
Yeah, it has 22 chapters so far.
Nice. Yeah, you gotta send me the link to that one too. Yeah, because I'd be down to read it. So basically, like, in order to use the abilities, for the stuff that he mines, he himself has to mine it. Like,
Yeah,
say for example, like another scavenger or another explorer finds a gem that that they mined and discovered themselves. He can't access it. He can't use it.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
and I think later on, it's revealed that it's a production, like a production crest.
Oh, okay.
Think of anime version of Minecraft Steve.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, no, yeah. Okay, I'm starting to get the gist of it. Okay, now that you put an anime version of Minecraft, Steve,
Yeah,
nice, nice.
it's interesting though. It's kind of been in a hiatus though, because the last update was like at the end of January.
Oh, okay. So
Well, the translated anyways.
mhm,
I don't know how much it's gonna take to update this manga, but it's good though.
mhm,
It's been a good read.
nice, nice. I'll definitely check that out. So for me, mainly because I'm sort of on my slice of life rom com kick. Yes, here at the Otaku's Kickback Sessions, we are pretty wholesome in some occasions. Um, so I've been reading this one that I had found, I think through Instagram. I want to say it was through Instagram, but through TikTok. It's called The Story of the Scary Kosaini Girl. And so basically, what it's about is so it follows this Uber Eats delivery driver. He's a cyclist driver and all that. One day, he stops by and drops off some food. Um, and while he's waiting for the door to open, he starts kind of noticing like, hey, you know what? I've been delivering to this place. I haven't really met the person um who lives here. And once the door opens, he sees is this tall, kind of scary looking girl, scary looking woman. Uh, almost like almost looks kind of goth and stuff, right? And so basically he gets freaked out. He starts getting nervous. He's like, "Oh man, she has like a kind of like a um, scary gaze on him, and it looks like she's pissed at him." And so basically, he just drops off the order, thanks her, and then just bolts away from the apartment.
Right.
Turns out, this is what kind of makes it wholesome. Turns out she's actually very shy to talk to new people.
So like Comey levels of shy.
Picture Comey and Hitomi-chan from
Ah,
Hitomi-chan and Shy with Strangers. And so the next day he goes to visit or he goes to deliver food to her. Um, Again, almost the same thing happens, except she stops him and she tells him kind of like in a low voice, is like, ah, please don't run away. Um, I just want somebody to talk to. And so that's when he starts figuring it out. He's like, wait a minute, she's not actually scary. She's just very shy. She doesn't she wants to talk. She wants to learn how to talk to people and learn how to communicate with different people, but she doesn't know how to because obviously people are kind of um get kind of like spooked by her appearance because of her mean gaze. And so far, because it's a fairly brand new manga, um, and it's 9 chapters, and I know I sent it to you, and I know I said that there was kind of like a secret to what the main girl has as a profession. Do you want me to spoil the secret now, or
No, I've read up to it. Yeah, she's a VTuber.
yeah, and not just any VTuber, she's the delivery driver's favorite VTuber, and that's what inspires him to be able to sit to be able to help out this girl because she's like or because he remembers the VTuber. I forgot the VTuber's name, but he remembers her saying that she's giving her all and giving her best and all that. And and this dude has like a shit a moment. He's like, you know what? If she's giving her best, I gotta give my best too. I gotta help this girl out. And so
Doesn't he donate a super he super chat
he donates
of like 10,000 yen?
he donates 10,000 yen in order to show the support for the VTuber, which happens to be the girl that he delivers to. And so this man basically is like fully focused on the mission to help out to help her out break out of her shell more and you know have a voice being able to speak to other people at least because I know chapter 9 came out like a few days ago. There's 9 chapters on it so far. But the one that I left off, I believe, was chapter 8, where turns out this other girl is delivering towards her, who also happens to be a fan of hers or a fan of her
Ah,
VTuber. And so basically they're trying to it leaves off at least from where I left off. It leaves off in a cliffhanger where it's like, oh wait a minute, she doesn't have experience talking to a new delivery driver that isn't me, and they're at a standstill. But yeah, if you want to check out something a bit wholesome, a bit good for a bit good for the soul, story of this scary Kosaini girl is worth the um, it's worth the read. It's worth the read because it's so far it's 9 chapters and I think it's around 13 pages, 10 pages each chapter. So in case you have some free time. Um, that reminds me, I also I bought them and I like legit have like 3 days to at least go through chapter or through the first volume. Um, Kaiju number 8 because I saw the trailer for the anime that's about to come out
right.
and well, you were there with me. I bought like the first 3 volumes because I was like, oh, after the trailer, I was like, oh, you know what, this shit looks dope. I haven't gone to them yet.
Wow.
I'm a very impulsive buyer. I'm sorry, but you know what, you know what, I'm gonna say this before the anime comes out. I'm gonna at least go through volume 1, and so that way it's like, okay, I read it. Let's watch season 1 when it comes out. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. There's also this other one um that I'll bring up next week as well that I got. It's a long name, but I think it goes along the lines of earning 800,000 pieces of gold in another world so I can live a peaceful life so I can retire. Um so far through volume one
What's
so far through volume 1, that's it's a pretty good one. It's another isekai one, but instead of being transported to another or instead of basically dying and transporting it to another world, the main girl, she has the ability to jump between the fantasy world, the isekai world, and her current world, and and it is pretty good. It does have some funny moments, but it ends up being a new bringing a new perspective into the isekai stuff.
I think I heard about that one. Wasn't that one like canceled?
No, at least I don't think it was. Was it?
Because I heard something about it being like dropped because it didn't get much attention or something like that.
Damn.
Like, like they only released like what, two, three books?
They released two volumes. I have the two volumes of that one. Um, I don't know. I haven't heard. I gotta look into it, but I don't know. I don't think it got canceled. I might be wrong though. I might be wrong. But if it did, damn, that sucks. Cause this actually, I'm taking it so far, and it's it's a good read. But hopefully it's not canceled. Oh, and the other one, and this is a fairly, I guess for among manga readers, this is a fairly popular one. Is Sakamoto Days. I read the first two volumes, bro. This is entertaining. It's an entertaining manga.
Huh.
So basically, the gist of it is, it follows a retired assassin, or not just a retired assassin, the best assassin in the world, is Sakamoto. Um, One day he just ends up disappearing off the map, and turns out he married a civilian that I think he met during no, he met after a mission in a convenience store, which happens to be her family's convenience store, I believe. And he falls in love with her, and he ends up marrying her. And then it follows like 20 years later into the future, and basically in his prime as an assassin, dude was, tall, buff, he was in good shape. Now, dude is just kind of like more. He's fat, he's chubby. Um,
On the overweight side.
yeah, he's on the overweight side. He's on the overweight side of stuff. But turns out that it's one of those things where you can't easily leave being an assassin behind, and so his previous employers send out his what used to be his protege to go and kill him. And so his protege stops by the convenience store and is ready to fight him. Turns out fucking Sakamoto he still has his skills, man. And he basically fights his protege, stuns him, and it's like, I'm still the top assassin right now, but it's just I chose the peaceful life. And when his protege ends up kind of like accepting, like, okay, yeah, I lost, you can go ahead and kill me, he doesn't kill him because his wife developed the Sakamoto list of family rules. And the golden rule is you can't kill anybody. You could you can incapacitate them, you can knock them out, but you can't kill anybody. Yeah. Yeah, I got you. Do you want to borrow the first two volumes? I mean, I have them in physical copy.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I got you. But yeah, the first two volumes are, pretty good. In case anybody wants to check them out on the internet, highly recommend it as well. I think they barely released volume 5 or 11. Um, they released a new volume recently, and so far from what I've been hearing, like the story's still pretty strong. So yeah, go ahead and check it out.
Sounds good.
Mhm.
I have an anime recommendation.
Ah, shoot.
Uh, I've been watching. I finished watching. The Weakest Tamer began a journey to pick up trash.
Oh, I think I've heard about that one.
It's interesting. So think about a society
Mhm.
where you get appraised, you get skills, but depending if you have like a 1-star skill, a 2-star skill, a 3-star skill, something like that.
Mhm.
So depending on how many stars your like unique skill has, you're either wanted or looked down upon.
Mhm.
Apparently, um, this girl Ivy, she was born with the tamer skill,
Mhm.
but she didn't have a star.
Mhm.
So she was born as a 0-star tamer, which, because of that, she's not able to tame like higher skilled, like higher monsters and all that stuff. Not even the basic slime.
Oh, okay.
So her village she was a part of apparently saw her as a bad
Hmm.
omen, so they kicked her out. Bro, okay, think about this. She was part of a loving family. They just had another kid, and everybody was all happy, lovey-dovey, and all that stuff. And the moment she got appraised and was told that she's a 0-star tamer, instantly 180 and they turned on her. Like,
Nah.
oh, you're trash. Get the fuck out of here. You're not wanted here. You're useless. You're such a useless child and all that
Even her
stuff.
family?
Dude, her family was like the first to turn on her.
Nah, that's some bitch made shit, dog. Why the hell are you gonna turn on your fucking daughter because because you have a 0 skill level? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's the world that this fantasy world
Hmm.
lives in. It's like giving everything a rating. Like, oh, I'll give you a 2-star rating because you're a really good guy and all that
Hmm.
stuff. It's just really terrible. So she pretty much has to live by going through like I guess you could say it's like a dumpster, like a she's pretty much dumpster diving
Uh-huh.
to live, finding scraps of food, looking for old clothing, uh, like wearing that old clothing. The only one that helps her out was it was this shaman chick
Yeah.
who's a fortune teller, and she has a 1-star, but she was the only one nice enough to like help her out. She gave her a bag of holdings
Oh, okay.
where she's able to store items.
Okay.
And what I found funny was, uh, well, this is hilarious because everybody has had that thought of like, what happens when you put a bag of holdings into another bag of holdings?
Uh, I'm gonna take a guess and say it just basically creates like a whole like black hole of bag of holdings.
Yeah, we all think that,
Yeah.
right? She pretty much goes to this big landfill
Mhm.
where she's like, "Oh, here's another bag of holdings, and here's a bag of holdings." She's able to find like 20 bags of
What the
holdings,
fuck?
and she's like, "Oh, I actually want all of these because I could put items inside,
Hmm.
and then I'll put that bag of holdings inside another bag of holdings, and it'll be light as hell."
Yeah.
And so now she's like doing the math and doing the numbers of like, okay, so how many bags can I fit in what? How many bags can I fit in this one?
Mhm.
Okay, I can put 2 bags in this one. I can put 3 bags in this one. So if I put 1 bag in this one, in this bag, it should be okay. And she's like doing the math and all that
Uh-huh.
stuff to the point where now she's carrying on her person, she's carrying 4 bags of
Uh-huh.
holdings. But in each of those bags of holdings is another bags of holdings with items inside.
so basic
It's
so
it's
so
hilarious.
basically all in all, so on her in person it's 4 bags of holdings, but in general, but in total she has, let's see.
She has like 25 bags of
God
holdings.
damn.
It's hilarious.
Wait, so
But yeah,
wait, so she tries to like say whenever she has to pull out an item and stuff, does she have to go through like all the bags to pull out one item?
yeah, she has to remember like, oh, did I put it in this one? No, I put it in this one inside this other one. And I think it was inside this one as well. I can't remember.
Shit.
Oh, and the funny part about this is I guess it's not considered an isekai
Hmm.
because it's not.
Hmm.
Apparently, after she's exiled, she suddenly gets these like
Hmm.
dings where apparently someone was reincarnated into her body, but that person didn't like take control.
Oh, okay.
So it's more of like a symbiotic relationship
Oh, okay.
where the isekai person is telling her like, oh, do this and this, do this and that, and she listens, or like, oh, well, what are you talking about at VHS? I don't even know what that is, and obviously the isekai person is like, never mind. But you never hear the other isekai person. It's more of like you hear a ding, and then she says what the other person was saying out loud. Lost my partner. Oh, there you are.
Sorry, I just had I don't know why it gave me basically the whole deal of like internet connection unstable. I'm hardwired into my PC rig, and for some reason, yeah, no, it lost out.
I'm guessing it's the site that crashed, maybe, or just kicked you out.
I'm assuming so, yeah, because it just kicked me out for right now. And wait a minute, did it save the?
On my end, it's still recording, so I think it should still be good. I think that's a sign that says we should wrap it up here.
Yeah, yeah. Let's definitely wrap it up here. Yeah, because sorry about that, folks. My internet's kind of crappy. But I guess that's what you pay. Well, actually, no, I pay a decent amount for internet. That's not what I paid. What the fuck?
No, it's because we're using a new recording software
Probably,
from the old one we're at. So it could be the site just kind of lagged out.
probably. It could be either way. Anyways, yes. Sorry about that again, man. Yeah, I know you were in the middle of discussing. Uh,
No, it's all good. I pretty much got the gist of this out. I do recommend it. It's a good adventure fantasy slice of life.
mm, yeah, yeah, I mean that sounds interesting. Yeah, like the manga. Just send me the name of him on Discord as well, so that way you can take a look at it too. Because after I'm done with Beyond Journey's End, I mean I got some other ones that I'm still watching. Which also reminds me, I got to finish the Slime season 2 because season 3 started, and definitely want to talk about that in in one of the future episodes. But yeah, I guess my internet is telling me to wrap it up. Um, boy, what a first episode. Thank you guys for joining us. Hope you had fun. I hope you, got some good recommendations from your boys here. And I hope to see you again next time. For Easy the Shinobi and Green Specter, this was the first episode of Otaku Kickback Sessions. Thank you for joining. Have a good night and God bless.
God bless.